Okay, day 3. This lovely chair arrived. The cushion always slides off. So this is my CPM chair, controlled passive motion, I believe is what it stands for. And yeah, it's almost an antiquated therapy. A lot of doctors don't prescribe it anymore because your physical therapist does all the stretching for you. But for someone like me that had the frozen shoulder, pretty significant, um, my doctor wanted to make sure I was getting a good stretch every day. So these straps are kind of annoying. All right, let's put this on. So they bring the big machine. They kind of set it up and leave pretty quick. Now, this was a prescription for the medical supply company, but I have a primary and a secondary insurance, and neither of them covered it. So we did have to pay for this on our own. I think for the 6 weeks was $250. It included this machine and an ice machine, which I said I didn't need because I had my one that I bought on Amazon, but this was an ice and compression machine. So I thought I was going to like it, but the shoulder pad was just so big that even when it compressed, again, it didn't fit on my slim shoulders. So I preferred to continue to use the one I purchased on Amazon. All right, like everything else, the straps are too big. I don't know why they don't think somebody petite ever, had surgery, but so what you do is you strap yourself in the machine. You have to make sure you're not like resting, leaning on your shoulder while you do it. So basically what this machine does is it just slowly lifts your arm up and rotates it. And the prescription said I was supposed to sit in this for 4 to 6 hours a day, which, is impossible. But I do it 45 minutes a day. I've done it every single day without fail for at least 45 minutes. In the beginning, I was actually doing it twice a day. Now I've got a lot more PT exercises to do, so I don't necessarily sit here every day. Again, I am currently, as I'm making this video, 4 weeks post-op. But I loved this machine. The first day I didn't like it when they came and set it up. It was not going this high. I think, like I said, they put it at 35. That's 94. Let me put it way down. But 35, I didn't, it was easy. So then I think I started at 50. And then every day I would like raise it to 52, 55, 57, and then like now I'm at like 112. I've been at that 108, 105 to 112 for about a week. I don't know if I could get much higher at this point, but yeah, initially I was kind of only doing a 50-degree, and it felt so good. I just put on YouTube. I have my cup of coffee here. I just have my morning coffee while my arm is just slowly being stretched. And then afterwards, I would ice it, get back on my recliner, attach the ice pack, and ice it. So I really, really love this machine, even though initially I thought I was going to hate this machine. Yeah, so see, bringing up this high, this is at 64. And again, I think I started the first couple days at 35, and then I was like, I am never going to get to 160 going 35, 37, 40. So then I bumped it to, I think, starting at around 55. So I don't know if your doctor prescribes these CPM machines. Um, my doctor, my physical therapist says lately he's getting a lot of prescriptions or seeing a lot of patients that my doctor is prescribing this machine, not really from any other doctor, just my doctor, but I love it. I did find trying to sleep, I needed to loosen up that neck strap and the waist strap just a little bit to have it actually sitting in my waist because it was really pushing up under my arm sitting in the recliner. And it was starting to get uncomfortable sleeping again. But again, that's the story of the last 4 weeks is being uncomfortable. I also found having a hardback chair next to the recliner. So when I did need to get out, I was just so worried about falling. And the first couple of days, I would leave the legs up because it was a motorized recliner and it's so slow with the legs going up and down that I was just scrambling over the edge. And then I just kept thinking, what if I fall? I mean, my big fear is falling or bumping into a wall or something and injuring my arm. So I did put a hardback chair, or my husband put a hardback chair next to the recliner so that as I was scrambling over the leg, I had a chair to hold on to as I was standing up. The other thing that was very helpful with the cold therapy machine that I got on Amazon was we were putting the frozen water bottles um, in the little cooler, and it took 6 regular sized frozen water bottles. And so in the beginning, I just froze 12, and then I put them in just a grocery bag. I put 6 in each grocery bag. So my husband would grab a bag, put the 6 in. We had a towel kind of sitting by it too. Take the old ones out, wipe them off, put them back, in another bag, and then just put the entire bag in the freezer. And then we would just kind of grab the bags and swap it out. Initially, we were doing, take the 6 water bottles out, put 6 water bottles in, carry it over and all that stuff. But it was just easier to have 2 bags. And we'd just start swapping them out. So that kind of made the water bottle switch easier. We also realized I only needed to switch out once a day. Those water bottles kept the water ice cold for about 24 hours. So that was really good. Yeah, so I've just been alternating on day 3, doing my PT exercises and icing and then sitting. Oh, day 3, I was sitting for about 20 minutes in this chair at a time. And then I would go back ice, and I was really getting bored. That first week was Groundhog Day. It was just sitting in front of the TV, maybe moving from a chair to chair. Sometimes I'd sit in front of the couch. Arm was starting to ache a little bit more with the Motrin. I did find instead of taking 800 milligrams of Motrin every 8 hours, I preferred to take 600 milligrams every 6 hours because that first hour or two had the most pain relief. And so if it was 8 hours, it still was that first hour or two, and then I had to wait, 8 hours before I could take any more. So when I did it 6 hours, those first 2 hours were the most ache relief. I never got into a position where I was in so much pain. And it's just the luck of the draw, but the way I've been with every single surgery I've had. So that's just the way my body responds, not with a lot of pain. Anyways, I found that taking the Motrin, or 600 milligrams of Motrin, so for 4 hours, I'd be, pretty much pain-free. I would get achy that last hour, and I was kind of watching when it was time to take it again. It didn't matter sleeping through the night. I could take 800 milligrams to try and sleep through the night, and I never slept through the night. I still always woke up around 1 or 2 in the morning. Also at day 3, like I said, I was taking showers. I started immediately taking showers by myself. I didn't need any assistance taking the shower. We have a walk-in shower. It's pretty small. This is a rental home. That's why all these boxes are here. It's a temporary home while we're remodeling the house that we purchased. And so the shower is only, I don't even think it's 3 feet wide. I mean, I could put my elbows out and hit both sides. In fact, I wouldn't even be able to put both my elbows out, surgery notwithstanding, but it was that narrow of a shower. But I did buy pump shampoo, pump body wash. I had like one of those scrubbers, and I had it hanging around the pump body wash. You push down on the pump, it got the body wash on the scrubber, and so then I could lather up. It was really easy. I did use a shower sling the first couple of days, but like everything else, like my regular sling, it was almost too big. So it was supporting my wrist. So it made me feel good just those first couple of days to make sure I wasn't going to accidentally try and reach for something with my dominant hand. But because I was traveling for 5 weeks with a torn rotator cuff, I actually I actually during that time could not raise my left hand shoulder to help shower or anything like that. So I was already used to just showering with one hand. So after a while, that shower sling became more of a pain to just get it on, and it would hold. It would hold up here, but it wasn't really giving any support down here. And in the end, I just decided I liked the way my hand felt just down by my side, which of course I was doing that 3 times a day. I was just walking around or sitting around on a hardback chair just for a little bit, 5 minutes with my arm hanging down. And it just felt so good to have that stretch. So in the morning, I'd take a shower, have my hand hanging down. A couple things that I felt were beneficial to me, besides making sure I had the pump shampoo and conditioner. I was using a hand towel to dry off because my bath towel was just too big and heavy. And I bought like those little hair turbans. I'll put a picture up. Um, Men, you might not have this issue, but so after I got a shower, I just kind of lean over, put the turban, it had a button, put the button right here, and then it wasn't that hard to grab it with one hand for me to, tuck my hair in and grab it with one hand. And then I twisted it, fastened the button, and then I could kind of towel off, and I didn't have a lot of water running down my back or anything like that. Um, yeah, I'm still just at the 4 week point. I'm still just using a hand towel. It's just a lot easier. For lotion, for the first week or so, I didn't get any lotion on my right arm. So I would put the lotion on my surgical arm. Later, after that first week, I would bend over and have my arm hanging down, um, put lotion in my good hand, rub it on my operated on hand, leaning forward. I was Anyway, it's kind of complex, but I would kind of just bend my knee, lean the elbow. I'm standing up though, so I'm kind of like doing a deep knee bend, and then I would just kind of do this motion to get lotion on my other arm. In fact, I still do that now. So that's kind of how I'm doing things. A lot of people, myself included, um, I can lift my arm. And I keep talking to my physical therapist about it, and he's like, because I had my bicep moved, and anytime I get some twinge, which I'm like, oh, what is that? He said that area that is twinging is probably where my bicep is reattached to my arm. The bicep is also the most fragile of the surgical sites that I had. So it is the one that you want to be the most cautious with, not to activate the bicep that first week. So even though sometimes without even thinking, I'll just bend my arm. I once reached for the refrigerator door, that's why I like wearing the sling. But even though I could have bent my arm, I really am really, really, really trying not to. Usually in the morning, I take my sling off. That's when I go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, and all that stuff. And uh, I'm really trying to bend my arm or lift my wrist to bend my arm. I can hold it there, and I can hold my toothbrush while I put my toothpaste on, and then take it. The other thing that I was doing that early on that my physical therapist said stop was, even if I lifted my arm up, sometimes I was just taking it down on its own, because again, I can do that, or I'd put it in a sling. I would just lift it on its own without thinking to get my arm in the sling. And even at 4 weeks, I'm still making a conscious effort not to be using that bicep, even though some of the PT that we're doing is using the bicep just a little bit. Just now am I starting to use it. So anyways, day 3, showering alone. I'm getting dressed alone. I bought a bunch of these V-neck t-shirts. These are the Essential Tee on Amazon. And these are large. I normally buy smalls, but I bought large because they're really easy to slip your arm in and pull over your head by yourself. I have a lot of elastic waistband, like skirts and shorts. So it's been pretty easy except for that first day or two when I had that big gauze pad on my shoulder that would catch on shirts, I have been able to get dressed and undressed by myself. I think my husband left for a trip on day 5. He might have left day 4, yeah, because that was the 5th day after surgery. Yeah, so he was just sitting here. I was like, "You don't need to stay here. I'm pretty much doing everything by myself." So that's what happened. That evening of the day 3 was probably one of my worst evenings sleeping. I think it was because I was trying to sleep with this medical grade. I have it right here. Medical grade cold therapy machine that they issued that has the compression. But again, this was just so big, and you can see how it forms, and it just was so big that when it would compress, I mean, it just wasn't even touching any of the areas. And so I was trying to sleep with this on day 3, and I slept miserably. So I went back and put the one that I purchased on Amazon that I could adjust to fit closer to my arm on night 4. So I didn't really get a good night's sleep day 3. And it did kind of show me that, the achiness at night, that's what kept me up at night. And so, yeah, Motrin at night was really important. I think I took it for the first 3 weeks. I haven't taken it for the last week. I don't even remember when I stopped taking it. It just was like, oh, I forgot to take Motrin, and I slept through the night. So, but yeah, it was really important for me to take it, and I tried to back it up early enough, like if I took it at 7, so that when I woke up at 1 in the morning, it's 6 hours, and I could take it again, and so wait for it to kick in, and then I was getting up around 4 or 5 those first couple of weeks, or couple of days, couple of nights, not couple of weeks, first couple of nights. Okay, so that's it for day 3.